can't believe we've had these for over a year, right? Yeah. Another, I like these like after the honeymoon phase videos. Today we are talking about one of our most favorite pieces of gear, the LiteAF curve packs. If you're not familiar about the history we have with these packs, we have 2 videos on these now. You know, I'm not going to go into it, watch those videos, but we had Chris over at LiteAF totally customize these packs for us, winter of 2019. So we got them a year and a half ago, actually, and we put them through the ringer. We did a review on them last summer, but we have since used them a lot more. So today we're kind of doing it's actually a year and a half.
Yeah, like year a little follow-up.
Yeah, we've got thoughts on it, so I thought it'd be fun to talk about. And these packs, I will say, since over the last like 3 years have exploded in popularity.
Yeah, they have. They're
super popular. So today's video, after the honeymoon phase, what do we really think about these packs?
Yeah. So the interesting thing is that I think what still stands true, and it was funny because Chris was bragging about this, is that I will continue to stand by the fact that his shoulder straps are the most comfortable shoulder straps I've used on a pack.
Agreed.
Period.
Yeah.
So from like a comfortability standpoint, crinkle.
Yeah. That's the good audio gets us there.
Yeah. Shoulder straps. Chris hit a home run on it, and he brags about it, rightfully so.
Yeah, that's I will say, these are the beefiest and most comfortable shoulder straps I've seen on a pack, and I don't know why other packs don't use these ones.
Well, Chris just made them thicker, really.
Yeah, they're just
contoured.
beefier. Yeah, they're so comfortable.
Yeah, great job. My biggest issue with this pack is that it's not that I regret getting a 35-liter pack.
But it's that he regrets getting a 35-liter pack.
I wish I could have used it a little bit more for winter. It's just not big enough for my winter gear, which sucks. So I'm only.
What about a one-nighter in the winter?
Really? I had stuff hanging off of it.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, because really the only difference between like a one-nighter and a 2 or 3-nighter is some food.
Yeah.
But I think I do regret getting a 35-liter. I think I should have gotten the 40. But one of the things I don't like about yours is I don't like how tall yours is.
Yeah, the 5. So the difference in the 35 and the 40-liter is the difference comes on vertically on the top.
Yeah. But I was going back and forth with Chris a little while ago, and Chris makes a 40 framed now. And the 40, instead of being tall, it's a little bit wider. And so,
that's right.
I think that might be in my future. It's just, it's limiting to 3 season, but that's also good too, because I'm sure if I like crammed my winter gear in this thing, it would be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Or like for a multi-day trip. I'm not like ultralight. My base weight's probably like 11, 12 pounds pretty normally on like a 3 season.
That's pretty light.
Yeah, it's pretty light. And then you throw in like food, water, beer, stuff like that.
Beer adds in weight.
Yeah, you start feeling the weight in this pack. And so I will say, like, to get the best comfort out of it, the lighter you can get this thing, the better. And that sounds obvious, but all the weight's on your shoulders with a frameless pack like this. So you know how everybody on the internet says like, oh, if you get a frameless pack, you got to have a light base weight. Like, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. And so talk about like how much weight have you had in this thing? And then I'll talk about the 40-liter.
I think the most I've probably had in this is 30 pounds, and that's too much. Period.
That's a lot. So how did it feel with 30 pounds?
Bad. My shoulders.
Like by the end of the day, your shoulders are screaming?
Yeah. I really think like your final pack weight for this thing should be below 20 pounds.
That is steep. I will say,
no.
I agree that 30 pounds is way too much in this pack. Now, I have a 40-liter. And the thing about the 40-liter is, 1, it's a bigger pack, but 2, I have the ability to put hip belts on it, which is something he doesn't. And when you have the ability to put hip belts on it, 1, you could put stuff in the hip belts so it comes off your shoulders. And 2, honestly, if you cinch those hip belts in, it does take some of the load off of your back.
Yeah, you might.
It does. There's no frame, but it does.
You might get a small weight transfer there.
You do.
But the Curve 35 is intended for lightweight, ultralight backpacking. That's
Yeah.
what it's intended for.
Yeah.
So when you start loading these things up, you're going to feel it, period.
Yeah, and I will say, so in the 40 liter, the most weight I've had in that is, I don't know if I've had 30 pounds.
I'm trying to think like...
Definitely like 26, 27.
I'm sure that there was times when we like were hauling 3 liters of water and like 4 beers each or something like that, and a bunch of
that's
food.
like 10 pounds of liquid right there.
Yes.
Yeah, so on those days, I mean, there are definitely been days where after 14, 15 miles, my shoulders are screaming. And that's because we had heavy packs.
And the pack's not intended for that.
And the pack is not intended for that. Now, he does say, I think he says that you can do 25 pounds comfortably. And I don't necessarily disagree with that. But I will agree with him in that you want to be as light as possible in these packs.
Yeah.
Now, I have taken mine and you've taken yours on multiple 4-day trips.
Yep.
You know, we just went to West Virginia and did 2 separate 4-day trips, and we used these packs. And what would you say about that? How comfortable was it?
It wasn't comfortable. The first
Really?
cranberry, it wasn't comfortable, but for the first few days, but that's because I was carrying so much crap.
Yeah, so like the first
Yeah.
day is going to be a little bit rough.
And then all of our gear, like, you know, the tarps were wet. Everything was wet as well, so that had a little bit of time. But like, I remember the first 2 days of cranberry being like, I can really feel it in my shoulders, and that's because I was carrying too much stuff. Like, it's not the pack's issue. So and you know, it maybe like our backpacking style is we like to take fun stuff with us. So like, you know, you have to be careful with this pack with that.
Yeah. All right. So we've talked about the weight thing. I want to talk about some positives of this pack.
Dude, there's so many positives.
So,
but
first,
that wasn't a negative.
That wasn't a negative. That was just, hey, if you're going to be routinely carrying
Yeah.
25 to 30 pounds, consider his framed pack.
Yeah. I want the frame pack, to be honest.
Yeah.
So.
But here's the thing. So if we didn't have arc hauls, I would say, yeah, the frame pack is the same size as the arc haul.
I
It is
know.
lighter though. All right, so one thing I do want to talk about is, now please check out our first video on why we customized, because there are multiple things we had him do. But we had him put on the back what he calls the SBO V-loop. That's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
This thing is like added less than an ounce to the pack, and we routinely store chairs, tents, etc. in this. And after a year and a half of using, I mean, we have used this pack a ton.
Yeah,
We've
we
used
have.
this more than the arc hauls.
Yeah. The V-loop is a must.
The V-loop is a must. I have been incredibly happy and blown away with the durability of this Dyneema pack. You know, before we got these, I was a little worried about the durability of a fully Dyneema pack. I will say, I mean, we've probably done 25 nights with these.
Yeah. Also,
I got a little hole, tiny one. That's it.
yeah, I have no holes.
You got none.
And you know, in West Virginia, it rained every single day.
Yeah, water. Yes.
No water in the pack. I do use a pack liner. You have some dry bags.
I use
too,
dry bags,
just in case.
but I didn't have any water in the pack.
No. It stayed dry. All you know, storming on and off throughout the day. So no issues with that, and it's great to be like, it's great for peace of mind too.
Yes.
And I will continue to say that the extra large fanny pack is fantastic.
Yeah.
I carry my camera gear in here. It works out great. Love the extra large fanny pack. The Lycra on the back
That
of the
thing's
pack
held up really
has
well.
held up.
The durability in general of everything has held up well.
Yeah, my arc haul has like a bunch of tiny little holes in the mesh on the back. This whatever this is, I think it's some type of Lycra. It just there's like one.
Oh, you got a little hole right
there is
there.
a little
That's
hole.
funny.
Yeah.
That's not bad though.
But like throwing it against trees and throwing it on the ground, I've gotten a lot more holes in the arc hauls mesh than this. There, I literally just found one hole while we were sitting here talking
That's
about
funny.
it. And then I guess one change or one like design thing that Chris, I don't know if Chris would do for us or not, is
I was gonna ask you about this.
yeah. So the front has the two Lycra, I'll call them water bottle pouches. I would like, in a perfect world, like these are designed for a smaller water bottle. They can fit 1 liter bottles in here. But in my opinion, they kind of stick up a little too high. And so since most people are using like smart water 1 liters or something like that, it'd be really cool to make these water bottle pouches a little bit longer and then angled a little bit more towards the center of your body. And then you could just have both of like you could put one here. I put my cell phone in one as well, and then one on your back, and it would sit a little bit lower, and so you wouldn't necessarily like bang your chin up against it or something like that. So you can get 1 liters in the front, but in my opinion, they stick out a little too tall. What we both typically do is we do like 2 1 liter water bottles on the side pouches, and then like a smaller like, I don't know, what is that, 11 ounce, 12 ounce
like
bottle?
10 to 12 to 15 ounce bottle.
Yeah, on the front. And that's quick access and stuff like that. So that I think that would be a cool thing to do, is make these a little bit bigger and then centered towards your chest a little bit more, so that you could, get access to 1 liters.
I go back and forth on having 2.
I like it.
I used to. I was like, but now I put my cell phone in one and I put the water bottle in the other. I'd never do 2 water bottles, but I like it too. And then these are made out of the same stuff that the back mesh is made out of. Now, one thing you just talked about that it was one thing about this pack that I was like, oh, that's cool, but I really like is the, and I wish other companies would do this, the side pouches. You're able to adjust the tension on them.
Yeah, a lot of companies do that.
Do they have that now?
Yeah.
Like our Z-Packs doesn't.
No, but a lot of like the cottage vendor
it's
packs.
really nice to shove this thing full of stuff and then tighten it, cinch it, so stuff doesn't come out. That was one thing I was like, oh, that's cool when I first got it. But it actually is really cool. And then something he does that most places do is he puts a drip hole at the bottom of these.
Yep.
Because if it rains all day, you will get these things filled with water, but the water drains out. So it's kind of ingenious. So I've been really happy with the cinching on the side pockets. I think one thing you and I both agree is just something that's kind of worthless for us is the webbing on the side of the pack.
Yeah, we don't really use
now,
it.
Yeah, but I say that. But now that we have banyan hammocks and we have spreader bars, they fit perfectly there.
Every once in a while when I take the saw, I run it up in there.
Yeah.
But don't really use the side tensioners all that much. But
yeah,
they're there if you need
they're
them.
nice. Although when you do need them, so I'll use them when I have we both have banyan bridge hammocks, and I'll put the spreader bars vertically in here, and it is nice.
Yeah.
And when we do a fishing trip, it will be nice for a fishing pole. But other than that, for us, this is mostly worthless.
Yeah. I think we've also done in previous videos, we talk about how like if you don't have this pack packed right, it's going to be uncomfortable, and
that's true.
And then potentially also like if you don't compress your quilt or your sleeping bag, your back is going to heat up.
Yes.
And so that's no longer an issue for us.
We know how to pack it. Right?
Yeah, like I compress the crap out of my quilt to get it on my lower back, so I'm not sweating all day.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of airflow on your back. That's because this pack isn't designed for that. So yeah, you're gonna have a sweaty back. That's fine, no big deal. Some people don't care about that, like us.
You get used to it.
Yeah.
And like we talk about now, like when it's 90 degrees outside, we don't go backpacking, so it's not a huge deal. It's kind of nice in the winter, actually.
Yeah. So like if I had to do it all again, I would.
Would you get the 40?
I'd get a 40, but I'd get the 40 framed, and then if I felt like being lighter, you could take out the aluminum stays in it and save a little bit of weight. And then I might see if I can get Chris to make me some longer water bottle pouches that are centered a little bit differently.
Yeah, and if I had to do it again, I would have him put the quiver pouch on the bottom.
See, I don't care about that.
I don't care, but for a half ounce, I'd like to have it.
Yeah.
You could shove stuff in it. But honestly, I'm incredibly happy I got the 40 liter. I'm incredibly happy with the hip belts. I use the hip belts more than I thought I would. Probably more than the fanny pack, because I'm able to fit the Canon M50 in a hip belt pocket. And when I have the hip belt pockets on the pack, it's more storage. Yeah. So I would definitely recommend looking at his hip belt pockets. And then I would just urge people to probably consider the 40 liter unless you're like in a tent and you have a super small setup. Because I think Frozen uses the 35.
Yeah, and I love how he just released like the 20 liter day pack. And
I know.
All these ultralight.
I know.
Everyone's going like super light. Those are pretty cool. As always, just a huge shout out to the build quality on the pack.
Yeah, that is one thing. I mean, we have
pristine.
We have used the crap out of this pack. I mean, in the winter, in the rain, in the snow, in the heat, in the wind.
I've still got mud all over this.
And we have put this thing through the ringer, and I was worried because it's Dyneema, but this thing is super durable. You do not have to worry about getting a Dyneema pack. Now, if you're out in Utah, sandstone everywhere, rubbing around, I don't know, maybe. But I have been super impressed with the build quality after using the crap out of this thing. And my pack is in the closet right here. It has one tiny hole at the very top. I don't know what it's from. I might have like rubbed up against something. I mean, literally like a 1 centimeter hole. Other than that, no issues whatsoever. And every time I like pick this thing up and it weighs 30 pounds, I'm worried about stuff like breaking, but I cannot speak more about the build quality of these LiteAF packs.
Yes, yeah. I mean, that's why you pay for a cottage company.
Yeah,
because you get that service
and the customization.
Yeah,
I mean, he does printed Dyneema now.
Yeah.
If you are gonna get this pack, get this SBO V loop. He offers it now. Get it. It is worth 1 ounce, and you get the ability to lash something on the bottom. So we always put our chairs, or I put my tent here. Get this thing. That's the only thing I'm going to say in terms of like, if you get this, you should get. And it's not because it's named after us.
Yeah, but it is.
It is named after us, and get it. So I think that's it. Any closing thoughts?
No, just as the entire internet says, and everybody you talk to, if you get a frameless pack, just understand that you got to get your base weight low to make sure that thing stays comfortable.
Yes. That's a good point to end on. Other than that, check out our other 2 videos where we review this. We talk more specifically about the customization options we did and why we did it. But that's it. Huge shout out to Chris over at LiteAF.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
Oh, yeah.
And he makes great products. We've got links to his shop down below, and I think we'll see everybody on the next one.
Yep. See ya.